Okay, so this might look a little bit different than my usual videos on here. It is 3:24 in the morning server time, and I am on my Druid, my 60 Druid Soupy, who I don't think at this point I've got a video out yet for him. I still have been working on a video for a long time, and I just haven't finished it for a few reasons, but it's coming out eventually. And so I kind of want to introduce what I'm doing with him this morning a little bit, to show people, I guess, I don't know, just what I've been doing. So obviously I play my Shaman, I really enjoy my Shaman. My Shaman's actually been more fun than I expected. I'll say that the Shaman, I wasn't sure what I would think of it, and there was even a part of me that thought that I might play it to level 20 or 30 and then kind of shelve him and start a new Let's Play if I didn't really love the Shaman, and I've really enjoyed it, which is why I've stuck with it and plan to stick through it all the way to 60. So today, I'm going to sit up straight. Today, it's early in the morning and I am doing Blackwing Lair raid prep. And there's a lot of ways you can prepare for Blackwing Lair. One of the more efficient ones, honestly, is just to make a lot of gold and buy everything off the auction house, or play the auction house and use the money you generate from buying and selling stuff, buying low and selling high on some items. But I've been I kind of enjoy just farming materials. Like if I need herbs, just going and collecting herbs. And I guess I should even go to the basics of this character. So I have, so I'm farming every herb I see. I'm in as Shara right now. I don't really need sungrass, but I will take it because I just want to stock up on everything right now. There's really no point in me not. If I see it, I might as well get it. I don't think herb nodes, I think herb nodes are always the same node. So like that sungrass node we just picked up is always sungrass. I don't know though if, while we're here, might just kill a few mobs. I don't know though if sungrass, for example, being spawned means other herb nodes nearby won't spawn. Alright, let's stab this thing. So these guys will drop something that's nice for Blackwing Lair called Demonic Runes. Demonic Runes, if I remember right, it's 1,000 to 1,500 damage to yourself, and you gain 1,000 to 1,500 mana. And honestly, I think the drop rate on these is about 12-13%, and I kind of like farming these guys for those. I don't have very many yet, but on other characters in the past, I have farmed these guys. A lot of people like farming the ones in Fellwood, but I sort of prefer these. I think these are the right ones. Like I said, I haven't done it yet on this character, but I think these guys will drop what I need. Obviously, we have Panda Cub hanging out with us. And so what I was showing you here was my skills. My professions are herbalism and skinning. It's a little bit, I mean, it's entirely gathering heavy, obviously. I've maxed out, obviously, skills because I'm level 60. And what else? Since I'm a Tauren, I actually have 315 herbalism out of 315. Tauren started off with a bonus 15 herbalism. I maxed out cooking, I've maxed out first aid. Fishing, oh, I didn't realize my fishing was 225. Dang, I need to train, I knew I had some ways to go, I didn't realize I got that far on it. I need to apparently train level 300 fishing. I think there's a quest in, like, Nat Pagel, I think gives you a quest for that, so I need to go do that. I've got my epic riding skill, yeah, daggers. I mean, you can see I've got quite a few skill ups here. Unarmed is pretty weak. Probably should skill it up just for fun in case I ever get disarmed for PvP. Doesn't really matter that much for me. Anyway, oh, I'm poisoned. I should have cured that. That's okay. And yeah, so those are my skills. My honor, I'm rank 3. It's all I really wanted to get. I'm getting blasted by, I didn't even see that mob there. Let's do this. It's full heal, almost full heal. Let's get out of that mess. Hell colors, okay, those are nice. They just rain a fire and I get out of it and they just keep casting, cool. And dead. Recurve bow, we'll sell that. Alright, so what I'm doing is mostly I was out here, because Azshara is, in my opinion, a really kind of underrated zone for herbs. especially Dreamfoil. So I've got an add-on which I'm forgetting the name of now. I just picked it up recently, but it shows all these herb nodes on here, right? And these herb nodes I've personally collected. I don't use, there's you can like preload these things with your own, with like a database of herb nodes, but I kind of prefer to, I kind of like just filling it out myself. For some reason it's kind of fun, sort of like a Pokemon style collecting thing. If I just fill the herb nodes myself, I sort of, I don't know, it's sort of fun. It's kind of weird, but I guess I'm just kind of weird in general. So yeah, all of these herb nodes I've personally collected. You see a lot of Purple Lotus, which is pretty useless. Not useless, not wild useful. There's some mild use for it. But mostly I'm out here for Dreamfoil. Mountain Silver Sage is nice, even though I don't personally need it. There are some solid chests, which have been mostly garbage. Sungrass can be used at least for superior healing potions, which are okay. And then what else is out here? Golden Sandsum, I think, or maybe it's Golden Sandsum's used for healing potions. But there is some use for Sungrass and Golden Sandsum, so I'll collect it when I run by it. I won't go all the way down some crazy cliffside to get them, but if it's anywhere near me, I'll run on my way to go get them a bit. So mostly I'm out here for Dreamfoil, and let's go over what's in my bags right now. Not a lot. I just started this kind of just, this morning for today's session of farming up stuff. But I find if I come out here in this time in the morning, and I tend to wake up early anyway, so it's not like I've been asleep. I slept for 8 hours, I'm up. It tends to be pretty easy to farm stuff. There's not a lot of competition. Same thing for mobs. There's just not a lot of people out here, so if I wanted to farm some mobs somewhere, I can generally do what I want. In fact, let's take a census. I know so many people are on. I think we're probably about 350 people right about now. I've gotten pretty good at my Druid, I think. One of the things I try and keep in mind is every time I'm out, you know, in feral form killing stuff, as soon as I have full, if I get to full mana, then I'm doing something wrong. Like I should be using my mana to heal up, so that I don't have any downtime. We got plenty of mana, and to, you know, rebuff if I don't need to heal, etc. Right? So just keep my buffs up, keep my health up. Pretty easy overall. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these guys don't drop their runes. I'm 90% sure these guys have like a 10 to 12% drop rate on them. It's pretty low, I mean, admittedly. So I'm not surprised I haven't gotten one yet, but let's kill until we get one, or until I've killed like 50 mobs, and then we'll continue our herbing. So the demonic runes are great for Blackwing Lair because they're nice for spellcasters. I mean, that's really all they're nice for, spellcasters. Dreamfoil is used in all sorts of things, and I want to show you my list in a moment of my reagents that I'm trying to collect for Blackwing Lair, which comes out in about 8 days, so I've got about a little over a week to keep farming out materials. I even need to just collect more gold. I've only got about 55 gold on this guy, and then maybe 30 or 40 on my bank character. So I'm not exactly rolling in gold, but I need a little bit more for repairs, of all things. But yeah, so on my character right now, let's see. So I've got, you know, a few herbs over here collected, a little bit of skinning stuff, probably some stuff I pulled out of a chest nearby. My skinning gloves, a manual crowd pummeler with 3 charges. This is for feral DPS, or feral tanking. So the way feral tanks work is they generate threat by, hold on a sec, I'm suddenly blanking on, what am I looking for? Maul. So Maul is generally how threat is generated for tanks in bear form for druids, and Maul is tied, it's like on your next attack you deal more damage with Maul, so you need to increase your attack speed. So things like the iron counterweight that increase your attack speed by 3%, that does apply in feral form, so that's a nice thing to have. I only have an impervious giant, which isn't great. It's pretty good, but it's not amazing. There's better ones in like the Dire Maul tribute chest that I need to pick up, so I don't plan to add the iron counterweight to this weapon. But when I get the one from, well, these guys are respawning fast. When I get the one from Dire Maul, I'll add iron counterweight. But what's insane is that the manual crowd pummeler, this on use lasts for 30 seconds and it applies in feral form. So you get a 50% increased attack speed in feral form, which means your maul is proccing 50% more often. It's a great way to generate rage, deal damage, generate threat, etc. So bear tanks, which I'm not a bear tank in raids, will go out of their way to farm up just tons of these from Nomergun. It's actually kind of ridiculous. We have a bear tank in our guild named Laris, and Laris, he said he killed 45 of the main, I think it's what they call like Crowd Pummeler 9000 or whatever is the name of the boss in Nomergun. He says he killed it 40 times and didn't get a single manual Crowd Pummeler. I've done it like 4 times and I've gotten it every time, so I don't know how his luck was so bad. I'm going to give up farming these guys. Apparently, I've cleared them all and no good drops for us, so we'll... Oh, there's one more. I'll do this one, then we'll move on. So anyway, he's had some bad luck. I've had much better luck in there, although I don't bear tank very often. Never in raids, I should say. So it doesn't matter as much to me. In 5-mans, however, let's do this. So we have, by the way, census completed. There's 335 characters online right now on the Horde side. It's like a perfect time to farm up materials. So a lot of these people are going to be... let's put our carrot back on. A lot of these people are going to be in other zones, low-level characters, etc., right? So not everyone's going to be out here in Azshara, so generally it's pretty chill. And I just make kind of a loop around this way, come around here, check this point, come back up, and just keep making these circles. And a lot of times I'll read while I'm doing this. Like I've got something on my other screen, I'll read, and just kind of casually in the morning run around, collect some herbs. I try to hit up these treasure chests because I have my, let's go to reputation. So I am neutral with Timbermaw Hold, which means I can go hang out with these Timbermaw and just walk right up and take any solid chests they have, which is pretty cool. Most solid chests are pretty worthless, but every now and then you'll get like a small recipe that's kind of useful, some potions, you know, things that are not completely worthless. Let's go pick up this Khadgar's Whisker. It's not, again, this is probably one of the least useful ones, but there's still some value in it. And it's not that much effort for me to swing by and grab these things, so I'll grab them. I think Purple Lotus, for example, too, is one where there's actually some value in... I think it's in Zul'Gurub. There's like a few recipes that come out that are honestly useful to have Purple Lotus for. Oh, there's our chest. This chest tends to be here quite a bit. It also shows up on my map because I've picked it up at least once, so now it shows up as a purple circle. And let's see, what do we get? Potions. Yeah, mostly junk. And the potions are nice. I like superior healing potions. I tend to save my major mana potions, etc. for... Oh, there's someone's farming. What the heck? Who farms out here at this time of day? What kind of crazy person would do that? A champion. That's pretty high ranking. I was going to check for a chest over here. Nope, no chest. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So running around collecting herbs. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to show you what I've geared up on my druids. This is my feral, pretty much my tanking set, which mostly also doubles as my DPS set when I'm out in the wild. Ghost Shroud from Blackrock Depths. I think I got this before level 60. It's actually a pretty nice pickup at that point. Woven Ivy Necklace, which came from Hinterlands quests. Still haven't replaced that. Fleshhide Shoulders, which I don't know where I got these from. Are these buy not equipped? It's kind of crazy. These are level 37 and I'm still using those. That seems like I should upgrade those soon. Tattered Hikari Cape. Pretty nice tanking one. It's like decent. Warbear Harness, which is a bind on equip. That's actually a really like something that's you can craft. I bought this a while back for myself. Pretty nice. Black Mist Arm Guards I picked up, I believe, from the... Is it the Beast? Where did I get that from? I don't recall... No, that's from Dire Maul. Where did I get these from? I'm forgetting where I got them from. I just picked these up in the last few days, pretty recent. Checking for chests over here. No chests. Alright, let's run, try and find... Kind of a bad pickups right now. Usually it's a little bit better than this. Blight leather gloves, I think was a quest in EPL. They're not great. I'd like to get something better, but I haven't found anything yet. Frostbite girdle's pretty good. I think this is from Scholomance, which is one of the... Is it right? It might not be right, but it's a pretty solid pre-raid Druid tanking gear. Blade Master leggings. This is definitely from the Beast. These are pretty nice. Ash-covered boots I've had for a long time. I think also from Blackrock Depths, maybe Blackrock Spire. Nagel ring was from the Golem Lord in Blackrock Depths, and that has been really nice. It's a really cool ring. So it actually, when struck in combat, you inflict 3 arcane damage to the attacker, 10 stamina, 50 armor, and 5 defense. You don't really stack defense as a bear tank, but you will. You want armor. So the reason why you want armor, if you don't know, is because in Dire Bear form, all the armor you gain from items is multiplied by 360%. And so every little bit of armor adds up quite a bit. So you can get some crazy amounts of armor as a leather wearer, as a druid. Don Julio's band I picked up from getting Exalted in Alterac Valley. So the day Alterac Valley released, not the day it released, but maybe 2 weeks after it released, I hit Exalted in Alterac Valley. I really grinded that out because I strongly wanted to get in there and do it quickly. When I was doing that, originally the queues were 3 minutes to get into Alterac Valley. By the end, they had kind of, after 2 weeks, they had gotten up to about, I don't know, 14 minutes I think was the highest I saw. And then, here we go, what are we getting here? Sungrass, not Dreamfoil, but it's okay. A new node for me to add to my collection though. Let's check over here before I go east. So I got Exalted, which is really nice. And the Don Julio's band is one of those reasons why I wanted Exalted. It's a really, really good DPS ring. I think it might be one of the best in slot DPS rings for rogues and DPS warriors and druids for a while. I think it's pretty nice. 1% hit, 1% crit, 16 attack power, 11 stamina. It's hard to complain about that. Nothing over here. Boo. Yeah, this is a dry run going around. I carried on a stick, actually, so for tanking, I would usually use my Mark of Tyranny. 180 armor, 10 arcane resistance, 1% dodge. And the Royal Seal of... Whoa, that's not the right thing. What do I usually have there? Rune of the Guard Captain. I was switching out. I need to get an equipment manager add-on. I don't have one. I've been running manually by switching things over. Rune of the Guard Captain is a really nice Horde exclusive trinket that you get from Hinterland's Elite Quests, and it's a really nice trinket. I get this at 50 or so. 1% hit, 20 attack power. It's a really nice trinket. So that's my tank set. I do have shoulders that I occasionally use for my DPS sets, like 17 agility, 6 stamina, but I very rarely DPS anywhere. In a raid setting, I'm a healer, and in a 5-man setting, I heal or tank. I've occasionally been DPS, but it's not common. Usually people need you've probably seen this if you play Classic and looking for group, you almost always see people asking for a tank or a healer, not a DPS. So I tend to roll as whichever is needed, or I start my own group and then say I'll fill in either one. Yeah, so that's pretty much my tank set. I occasionally use my my shoulders there for DPSing if I'm DPSing in an instance. Let's check up here. So the other thing I have, let's kind of make some... Yeah, so the other thing I have is, I want to clear out some space, is my heal set. And it's kind of... Boy, I'm having some real bad luck with herbs. Usually I can swing through here and pick up 5 to 10 herb nodes or something, I'd say. I'll scan these guys. Sometimes these drop blue dragon scales, which can be useful. Otherwise, the rugged hides or whatever, I'll vendor or sell. So, sometimes, it just depends. Looking for tank heals, Blackrock Depths, arena spam. I don't know about that. Not my favorite thing to do. There you go, blue dragon scale. This guy isn't skin. Nope, I will take this for myself, but I will buff at least our friend here. Thank you for the herbs. Alright, let's get back on our mount. So my heal set, let's go through that. So my heal set's okay. I feel like my tank set is better. Honestly, I kind of purposely geared up as a tank originally, but then we need healers probably more than tanks in our guild, so I've been doing mostly healing, entirely healing in raids. But my heal set, I've got the Tribal War Feathers of Fire Resistance. I think this is from, what's it called, Geif? From Upper Blackrock Spire. And the Fire Resistance one is probably the best one in my opinion, because it gets you, let's see, Kegar's Whisker. These are some weak herbs. Fire Resistance is handy, right? It has some use on Ragnaros or whatever. But it's overall not a bad hat piece for pre-raid at 15 intellect, 12 stamina, leather, 33 healing, so can't complain. Let's make sure I'm staying on track here. Let's just go through these in order. My rings, quest reward, 37 healing, Forging Seal. I have Orgrimmar, quest reward, 18 healing, and also some stats on both those. My belt is the Master's Belt of Healing, which isn't... Let's see, what herb is this? Sungrass. Again, not getting any Dreamfoil. That's what I really need. Mountain Silver Sage? Nope, Golden Sandsome over there. Ooh. Mountain Silver Sage is nice because it's just valuable. So if I collect it, I can at least sell it or trade it to guildies for things that I need. Yeah, so I really love picking up Mountain Silver Sage. Probably just as much as I love picking up Dreamfoil, even though Dreamfoil is what I immediately need more of. And I'll explain all the things I'm collecting soon. So Master's Belt of Healing is just a lot of plus healing, which is nice. Mind Tap Talisman, one of the best trinkets for a Druid. Oh, there we go, some Dreamfoil. We need lots of mana per 5. You can actually get 2 of these. I don't have a second one yet, but I'm pretty happy with having one. A lot of people have trouble finding them. They're pretty low drop rate, and so when that dropped for me and I won the roll, I was pretty psyched. From the tomb, the Chest of 7 in Blackrock Depths, I have the Hammer of Grace, my main hand. 31 healing is pretty good for a main hand. Alright, let's circle back around. My offhand, by the way, is the Lay of the Life Giver. It's a really nice offhand. It's from Alterac Valley, and I think it's the best offhand for a Druid healer until, like, AQ 40, like Cthulhu, I think, drops something better. Or maybe it's Nax. 53 healing and 3 mana per 5 is kind of ridiculous. It also is cool because I'm holding little flowers. Like it even looks cool, in my opinion. Alright, so gloves are also kind of weak, but they're okay. 22 healing, 11 intellect. I did pick up my first piece of Molten Core gear last time I was in Molten Core a couple weeks ago. And it's the Cenarian Spalders. You probably have seen these, but they make me feel like a real tier 1 Druid now. Like those are iconic in my opinion. I love the way those look. Kind of goofy, but pretty nice healing shoulders, honestly. My necklace is from Strat Dead. Is that right? Strat Dead. Yeah, it's from... Is it Ramstein the Gorger? Is that his name? Oh, sweet. More Dreamfoil. We got 3 Dreamfoil from that last node, which is really nice. Let's see what we get from this one. The most you can get is 3. Lowest you can get is 5. 2 3s in a row. That feels good. But yeah, this is a really good necklace. The Animated Chain Necklace. One of the best healing necklaces you can get pre-Molten Core. And honestly, it's better than some Molten Core necklaces. I forget what one is called, but one of them dropped the other day, and I passed on it because this is better. People are, like, a lot of people want to... Oh, another Dreamfoil. Wow, we're stocking up now. Some Sungrass over there. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's roll another 3. Ooh, 2. So we've gotten 8 Dreamfoil on 3 nodes. That's solid. I'm super hyped about that. But yeah, amazing necklace, low drop rate. I got it on my first, like, no joke, I think I got it on my very first run in Undead Strat, and no one else needed it, because I was the healer, so sick. My boots are trash. I don't even know, I got these from like a Booty Bay quest in my 40s, I think. Oh, 3 Sungrass, rolling some high numbers in these herb nodes. But look at those boots, seriously, 8 healing and 11 intellect. I tried to replace it, but I cannot find it. I've just had bad luck. And I have nothing, no instance I've ran that has better gear has dropped that gear. And I think one time, like, let me think about it. I don't think it's ever dropped. I don't think any better thing has ever dropped. I've continuously looked out for it, and I'm just not getting anything to drop. Ooh, Khadgar's Whisker. I think it's up. Yeah, here it is. Okay, we'll grab that. So if the Khadgar's Whisker was down here, I would not jump down for it. It's not worth my time. It's not that valuable. And honestly, if you've ever been to Azshara, if you fall down in these ruins, it's so painful to get out. There's only 2 or 3 spots to get out of it, and it's pretty... There's a lot of stuff in the way, and a lot of Naga, so you really don't want to go down if you can help it. Okay, so where are we going next? Let's keep following this route. Okay, whoops. I closed my bags I didn't want to close. Alright, so last few things of gear. Senior Designer's Pantaloons from Blackrock Depths. Really good pre-raid Druid healing gear. Height of the Wild. I farmed up all the materials for this, or bought the materials. That took a little while. It's a really nice thing. I haven't used it yet. I literally farmed it up in the last few days, finally last bit, and got it made up. But I haven't actually healed since getting it, so it's kind of ironic. But I think Height of the Wild stays pretty much best in slot until AQ40 or something, maybe even Nax. Don't quite remember. Really good cloak. Bracers are okay. 22 healing. I need to upgrade them for sure. The Royal Seal of Eldrathalas, is that how you say it? Dreamfoil, another node. Sweet. Increases healing done by 44. 10 fire resistance. Really, I think it's one of the best trinkets you can get for healing. Just for healing. I mean, it's Druid specific, so each of these quests are specific to your class, but it's really, really good. But then, I think it's all my healing stuff. I think it's everything. Except for my chest piece. I'm embarrassed to show you this. Fern Pulse Jerkin. 22 Spirit, 8 Intellect, 5 Stamina. It is so bad, and I cannot get a replacement. The only pre-raid ones that seem to be significantly better are... This is Mountain Silver Sage, Golden Sandsome. Dang, it's so close to the mountains too. I really thought this might be some Silver Sage. We'll pick it up anyway. But it's so hard to find a replacement for this. It's not good, but somehow the better ones tend to be at the end of Blackrock Depths. The Princess or Emp, they both can drop better ones. And I've been unable to get them to drop. Every time I go, other stuff drops. And I forget what else. There's something else I'm... There's another couple instances that have some minor upgrades, but it never drops. Just nothing ever drops. I checked the auction house for better gear, and honestly, nothing better has really dropped for me. So I'm kind of just stuck with this goofy thing. It's fine, but I would really love to have something that isn't Fern Pulse Jerkin as my healing chest. I think that's my weakest link, then the shoulders, then the bracers. It's probably the order of what I'd love to replace. I am running Molten Core. Today's Monday the 3rd, February 3rd. I'm running Molten Core tomorrow on the 4th and with my guild, and I'm hoping to pick up anything. It's an upgrade. I'm the only druid signed up for the raid right now, so it could be kind of wonderful. Could get a little bit lucky and scoop up some gear. We'll see. So that's all my gear, right? So sorry for the rundown, but I figured I'd update people on what I've been doing on this guy. Now, professions I already told you about. I think it's everything I really need to work on. Oh, and of course I have my Horn of the Frostwolf Howler, right? So I got the epic mount from Alterac Valley. That was one of the reasons I farmed up Exalted. Even though it's faster to just farm the gold for a regular mount, I don't love the Kodo with Tauren. I had a Kodo in vanilla on my Undead Rogue, and I loved that. I think Kodos and Undead Rogues are awesome together. Something about the combination just looks really cool to me. Ooh, Sungrass and Dreamfoil. Let's scoop the Dreamfoil first. Now we're hitting our stride. We're actually starting to pick up all the loot I kind of was expecting to pick up in terms of just finding more herb nodes. Seemed like we had a dry spell there. Maybe someone else had just cleared through and we were kind of following them behind. But yeah, so the Frostwolf Howler is really nice too. Pretty psyched about it. And I think that's mostly it. So right now, we've got this. Let's move these things up here. I try to keep my herbs in one spot. And like somewhat clear of other stuff. Oh, missed something. Khadgar's Whisker. Let's go back and grab this. Like I said, all herbs are worth grabbing at this point because there are some use for these things. And I can tell a lot of people are prepping for Blackwing Lair. because auction house prices for a lot of these random herbs have gone up. Because honestly, I think people get to a point where they'll take a superior healing potion as a tank if they can't get, if they're running out of major heal potions or something like that. So I think there's a good argument to be made to just pick up every, semi-high level herb you can, and yeah, move on with your life. It's probably worth it, I think. Otherwise, my bags are full of consumables and then some various turn-in items, my fishing rod, my tank mace. If I'm going full tanky, I'll use my Time-Sworn mace with my torque wrench for the strength and armor. Oh, missed an herb. I gotta stop covering the minimap. But yeah, the Time-Sworn mace is a pretty nice tanking one-hander, but ultimately I need to get the two-handers. Two-handers are better. Oh, this guy's gonna aggro me for sure. Oh, I got it though. Works for me. I'm not gonna fight him if I get the herb node I needed. Without timing, just barely worked out. And my Onyxia necklace. So I've done Onyxia a few times. No loot from Onyxia at all. The only loot I've gotten from Molten Core or Onyxia. This is Mountain Silver Sage for sure. Yeah. The only loot I've gotten are the Cenarian Spalders, which admittedly are some of the cooler looking ones, but that's completely it. I ran a few Molten Cores now, like maybe 3 Molten Cores and maybe 2 Onyxias, I think, and the Druid loot hasn't dropped a lot. And on top of that, I'm a social member of my guild. I'm not an active raid team member because I don't participate every week because it's too much of a time commitment for me. So I try to raid Molten Core every other week and then Onyxia every 2 to 3 weeks when I can. We clear Molten Core in under 2 hours, pretty consistently, right around 1.5 to 2.5 hours, I'd say, is right where we fall, which is, oh, that's annoying, which is pretty nice, to be honest. It makes it actually, this is so annoying. Okay, hold on a sec. There we go. I love being a druid because I can sleep beasts, or it's annoying. I can sleep beasts, I can travel form to get away, I can entangle roots mobs. And so there's a lot of herbs I've farmed by just entangling roots on a mob, stealing the loot, like the herb node, and then like these cliff walkers, I'll absolutely just entangling roots, walk right up next to them, get the dream foil, and then just run off. So I've also farmed up in Stranglethorn Vale a little bit for a few herbs. I'm looking for Golden Steel Bloom. Is it called Gold Steel Bloom? It doesn't sound quite. Wild Steel Bloom. Wild Steel Bloom. For Elixirs of Fortitude. So that's a good, if you run along the eastern cliffside of Stranglethorn Vale, it's pretty good. Nice. More herbs. But for now, I want to grab this herb node, and then I want to switch to my bank character. I want to show you all the herbs and stuff I've been farming up, what all I have. Pretty solid with everything I've got. Let's move to the... Let me check one more spot for a few more herbs real quick, just out in this kind of open area. And then I will... Did I aggro that? That's okay. And then I'll log out and switch over to my bank. So I want to show you everything I've been collecting. I mostly will take this stuff, farm it up on my druid, and then send it to my bank character. I need to get another bank account, to be honest, because I'm kind of overly full at this point. Like I'm just running out of space on my first bank character, and I don't want to pay for the final bag slots because they're expensive. I can just make a bank character. So let's log out and I'll show you that. So like I said, we've got maybe almost a stack of dream foil over here, 3/4 of a stack of sungrass, some golden sansum. Oh man, I love stretching like that in the mornings. It feels so good. It kind of cracks my back, cracks my shoulders. All right, so let's go to Subank. It's my bank character. And on Subank, who's naked, and I will probably get him some clothes someday. I need to get him like the... Is it... how much does it cost? In fact, this guy's got what I want. Blue linen vest. This is pretty solid. Yeah, look at this guy. He's got the stuff. I want to screenshot all this guy's gear real quick. Seriously, he looks awesome, right? Mood ring, awesome. Seriously, this is a stacked. That's such a cool broke orc. Okay. Yeah, I need to make my guy look better. So, I don't think I have anything listed right now. I love it. This guy always has the Onyxia buff, or the, like the Rend buff or whatever. It always has these stupid buffs, which I always love. Alright, let's do this. Large Radiant Shard, auction successful. So these, I want to talk about these real quick. First of all, my bags are awesome. Second of all, the Stockade Pauldrons. I was given these. I won these. We're on Grobulus, the North American RP PvP server. There was a fishing tournament yesterday, and this fishing tournament has been hosted weekly by a guild called the Blacktooth Grin, and this is a role-playing server, right? And so it's really actually a lot of fun. Every week they get on the world chat or in looking for a group or whatever, and they announce this fishing tournament. We all head out, maybe 20 to 30 people participated yesterday. We headed out to the Lushwater Oasis. I think it's the one, I think it's the right name, the one just outside of Wailing Caverns. We go to the small pond out there, and we have a fishing tournament, and we're all in a raid group, and the first person to catch a fish, not any fish, but one, it'll say something like a 22-pound, like a 22-pound armor fish or whatever, and the first person to catch any fish of any size, besides these, like, not the normal stupid ones like a deviate fish, but anyone has like a weight, like a 22-pound or 18-pound. The first person to catch one of those, and it shows up in raid chat, right, as something you looted, wins first place. And then second and third place, so there's people that catch the next fish after that. And I won first place, and by winning first place, there was a pool of 4 Bind and Equip epics that were, this is a free tournament to enter, that were hosted by the guild, the Blacktooth Grin, and I was able to choose one of the 4 epics for myself. So I won. I've never done it before. I participated, and I caught the first weighted fish, and I got a choice of one of the 4 epics. I was on my Druid, and honestly, none of them, it was like a bow, this plate, Stockade Pauldrons, a couple things like an axe, and I forgot what the other one was, but it was all stuff I couldn't use on my Druid. Like none of it was usable at all, or an upgrade certainly. So I took the Stockade Pauldrons, and I may eventually level up a character to use them. So for now, I'm holding my bank. If I decide not to level up a character, someday I'll just sell these, but for now I'm going to hold on to them. But I was really psyched. It was a lot of fun. It was seriously really cool. But otherwise, yeah, I've got all sorts of reagents, just like stuff here sent from my my shaman, and then I've got more herbs here from a little bit of herbing up in, this is the Stranglethorn Veil run I did yesterday, and let's see, my bank's not that full of stuff. What do I have over here? A few more miscellaneous herbs, and then a few cool things here, just like trinkety things. My Diablo Stone for my Collector's Edition, some fish. But the main haul are all of these herbs. I've got 2 Black Lotus. I've got, in fact, it's a little bit easier to do it this way. Alright, so I've got this little spreadsheet I've been making. It's kind of a little crazy, I think. It's not fully organized. But I've got this spreadsheet that shows all of my herbs that I've currently collected, potions I already have, food I already have, some random buff things I have, things I'm still trying to collect, things I've completed collecting for this is all Blackwing Lair prep, like I said, specific herbs I need, or reagents I need for protection potions, for elixir of fortitude, flasks, and major mana potions. So I've got this huge collection here. I think it's pretty solid. And it's pretty much what mirrors what's over here, right? So I've got over 100 Sungrass, 200 Golden Sandsum, 100 Dreamfoil, 100 plus Ice Cap, almost 100 Mountain Silver Sage, and then quite a few stacks of Plague Bloom, Khadgar's Whisker, Goldthorn, Purple Lotus, 2 Black Lotus, which are about 90 to 110 gold on my server right now, and then a fair amount of these potions, and a lot of food, a lot of poached sunscale, and a lot of Nightfin soup. We can close that now. So I finally started organizing because it's got too much to count. I still need more of a lot of things. Like a lot of things I still need more of. But I am working on collecting them. Dreamfoil is a big one right now. I need probably 100 more Dreamfoil. Maybe 80 more since I've got almost a stack of my Druid right now. But I'm working through it. I've got about 30 gold in this guy. Also, occasionally I'll buy or sell stuff on the auction house here. But we're working on it. You know, it's a lot to farm up. The big one right now is I'd like to have 8 hours worth of flasks. Flask of Distilled Wisdom, which means I need 2 more Black Lotus at least. And then at least another 60 Dreamfoil. So we're working through it. And what I also want to show you, this is actually just this is a priest prep list, but it's pretty close to what I'm doing for my druid for prepping for Blackwing Lair. 50 gold for repairs, I can get that pretty easy. 10 flasks of Distilled Wisdom, that's not going to happen because I'm only going to commit 8 to 10 hours to Blackwing Lair in the first day or 2 of launch. I don't have more time than that. Even that's really pushing it for me. I might have to cut it down to like 4 to 8 hours, which is still a ton of time. It's a huge amount of time for me. I'm already thinking a few days ahead of time about all the chores I'm going to try and get done in my real life, all the work I'm going to try and work ahead on so that I can afford to take some extra time for Blackwing Lair launch night. But 10 flasks is 20 hours of flasks. I don't have time to play 20 hours in that week. So I'm going to try to farm up 4 flasks. That would make me pretty happy if I can get 2 more of them made up. I need to make them all still, but I've got the mats for 2 right now. 50 major mana potions. I have the mats for those now, pretty much, just about. 50 dark runes, demonic runes, I have 1. I'm not going to get 50 by then. I'll try and get 10. I've got the Nightfin Soup, I've got the bandages. Shredholm Holy Waters are used for stage 3 and Nefarian. I'm going to try to collect more of these, but I don't know if I'm going to get enough. And I've got most of the mats, the Shadow Protection Potions, and most of the mats for the Greater Fire Elemental. The Greater Fire Protection Potions, I need a few more Elemental Fire. And Elixir of Fortitudes, these are 120 health elixirs. They're kind of weird. They're not super useful, but it's better than nothing. And I've mostly got the mats for those. I needed some Wild Steel Bloom, so I went to Stranglethorn Vale and just farmed up a bit. But yeah, so that's kind of that's a huge reagent prep. On top of that, I'm trying to gear up, get my chest, boots, and wrists a little bit better on my druid, because as I mentioned, those are I'm a little bit disappointed in those. They're not amazing. I'd like to get something better, at least in one of those slots. So I'm kind of under-geared, as I guess what I'm saying, relative to where I'd like to be. And I've only got basically 1 more raid a week, so I'm going to try to do Molten Core and Nixia this week. But I don't have much time beyond that anyway. By the time I do those 2 raids, and a little bit of this prep in the mornings like this, I do almost all my raid prep just in the morning, I will pretty much be toast on time. So, you know, I'll be ready as much as I can be, and let's grab this Purple Lotus and just kill these mobs, I guess. So I'll be as ready as I can be, and if it's not good enough and they have someone else that's better geared for in my guild to go in, then they should do that. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I've already kind of mentioned I'm sort of a social bench player for the guild, which I'm fine with. So, yeah, I can't complain. Anyway, that's kind of it. I just want to show a little bit about what I'm doing for raid prepping for Blackwing Lair, a little bit of update on my druid. I will have a more druid-focused video, another druid-focused video soon-ish, if I get around to finishing it. Where is this stupid Black Lotus? Oh, not Black Lotus, Purple Lotus. A very big difference. Purple Lotus, not that valuable. In fact, I think Purple Lotus says to vendor it. It's not even worth my auction app. Doesn't even say it's worth auctioning. So sad. I still like collecting it though. Alright, let's mount up. Anyway, so we will have some more content from this guy eventually. I do hope to record Blackwing Lair, some or all of it. I think it'd be fun to share some of my rating with everyone. Eventually I'll share my... Ooh, let's get that Dreamfoil. Eventually I'll share some rating on my Shaman when he hits 60, but that's going to be a little while. As always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. Timothy B, Luke D, and Chris S are my top tier supporters, so they get an extra shout out, but I appreciate the support from everyone on my Patreon. And I should really reiterate, I really appreciate people just watch the videos and don't financially support me. Like, I still think time is one of the most valuable things a person can give up. And if you're watching or even just listening along to these videos, it's something I appreciate. It feels nice to know people are enjoying what I'm doing, which I'm also enjoying doing for myself anyway. So it's kind of a feedback effect where I get this extra boost, knowing there's at least a niche of people that kind of like listening along to my WoW adventures. So anyway, with that, I think that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.